Welcome back to the MVM Show, fellas and ladies. I'm pumped today. I haven't ate all day long. And I will say this, when you fast and you don't eat, for some reason I have way more energy. It's our food that's killing us. No, just joking, kind of. I do tell you, once I cross a certain point, it's like, man, I got some energy. Maybe I need to stop eating so much. But I do have Wingstop sitting at my 11 o'clock that I am going to be eating after this episode. But I thought, man, as much energy as I have, I better record and get out of the way what I want to talk about. And as usual, I didn't finish writing my notes down as I look down on my paper right now. But we'll go ahead and get started anyways. What I did want to tell you guys is thank you for the sales on the molar chokes. I say thank you because we are partnered up, and there's a reason I gave you that code, obviously. But here's the deal. I would not be pushing that if I didn't truly believe in it. And I'm going to do another episode about my 28 gauge. I can't wait to share it with you. If you guys have not watched and have been on the channel a while, a lot of you have told me that you guys don't get notified when I release a video, which I haven't released a YouTube video in probably, I guess I did one a couple weeks ago, but honestly, once duck season's over, I'm pretty much done till about now. Usually I start releasing stuff at the end of June, but even this year I kind of made a bigger gap. I got so many videos coming out. I got Kuyu waterfowl videos coming out, my thoughts, ideas about the stuff that I used for a whole season. I got that coming out, videos. I've got full movie from past hunts where I basically take out all the jaw jacking and just put the hunting and the shooting in there. Those guys still get released. I got more pattern videos coming out. Guys, I am going to do the Browning A5 next because my 20 gauge is dialed. You've seen those videos. My 28 gauge is dialed, and I'll be doing a podcast about that. And then the Browning A5, my 12 gauge, which honestly I don't shoot a lot anymore. Yeah, but I still want to get it dialed in because I will still shoot it. And don't take me wrong, just because I don't shoot it as much doesn't mean I don't love that gun. That gun will always have a place deep in my heart. But on this one, I want to talk about, let me backtrack here. I tell you what, when you don't eat a lot or you don't eat nothing and then you drink a Cinnamon Red Bull, it flows through your veins. Not to mention 30 ounces of coffee this morning, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. That being said, it is 2:30, folks. It is 2:30. And I'm just going to tell you right now, the day is young when I feel this good. But what I want to tell you guys that I kind of got sidetracked like I usually do, and I will say a part of this reason I'm so pumped is because duck season's right around the corner. That's truly the reason why. But what I did want to tell you before we get started, thank you for all those that bought the molar chokes. I'm pretty sure no one's sending them back. Let me know. Go to that video and put in there what you think of your choke and if you've patterned it. Maybe a lot of you aren't going to pattern your chokes, and that's totally fine. I'll never bash anybody for not doing that. I think you'll be glad. If you did it, I think you would be glad you did and say, why haven't I done this more? But if you don't, you don't. It's not a big deal. It takes time, it takes money. It's shooting shells that are not cheap right now. So, but anyways, go check that video. If you haven't, go watch it. If you have, and you've bought the molar chokes and use the code MVM2024, thank you. It helps us out, helps us make more videos, go on these hunts, make more products. I'm going to be doing awesome videos with Jimmy Moeller when I go back there to Connecticut in December. We're going to be going through his factory. I hope I can do that justice and make a really great video that you guys all enjoy to watch. So that being said, let's get into the podcast. And I just want to throw this out there before we start. If you guys are interested in the chokes and you want to buy a molar choke and you want to try it and you're saying, man, I just want a decoy choke, put in the code at checkout, MVM2024, all caps, all one word, and you'll get 10% off at discount, and it will ease that pain of pulling the trigger. But once you do, I will say this, you won't regret it. You will never look back. Maybe you'll want to send it back and get a passing. I would say start with the decoy though, okay? And that being said, you can freely exchange and get a shipping label. If you said, you know what, I don't want the decoy, I want the passing, it's free. Send it back. They'll send you a shipping label. You'll get the passing in, and if that's the one you like, that's the one you like. They cover it for you. So it's a great company, guys. Lauren down there, Jimmy, Lauren, Devin, amazing people, hard workers, and they truly believe in what they do. I believe in what they do, and I want to share it with everybody because honestly, it's a game changer. The amazing patterns they get is mind blowing. So, anyways, trying to get a lot said in a little bit of time. I guess it's better than listening to somebody that's half dead on this podcast, huh? So, let me pull up something. I want to pull up an email, which, like I said, I should already have this pulled up. And I've got some secrets for you guys. I'm not going to say who I heard it from. You're going to have no clue, but I'm going to give you insider information. And that is why you should listen to the MVM show regularly, because you're going to get stuff here you can't get anywhere else. So yeah, maybe I am a tweaker. Maybe I go all over the place. Maybe I can't think of certain words I want to say because my brain only works like at the 75% level. But you will get honest. You will get dependable information. You will get honest information. You will get that information and that vibe from this podcast of a down-to-earth group of people, and guys, ladies, whoever it is on here that I have as guests. You'll be like, those people are real. All the other ones, it's for show. You don't get that sense, right? I hope you guys always get that here. And we've had a lot of kind of, I guess I would say like spiritual ones, deep conversations on our podcast, but now it's the time to dial in the waterfowl stuff. So let's get started. You guys remember earlier I talked about the 3 pintail limit, and I said do not shoot 3 pintails this season, 2024-2025 season, okay? I said that, and that is true. Do not do that. Please do not do that. A lot of people on social media were like, why are you putting this information out that I'm about to share with you? They said, why are you putting it out right now? You're going to confuse people. And I do agree with them on that. Unfortunately, that's kind of sad to say that, because if people read the writing, it tells you when this is happening, but not everybody pays attention. So that's why I'm here, to help the people that listen to us, try to help keep you out of trouble and just to give you some information. So remember, stay tuned until a little bit later in this episode. I'm going to share with you something I know for a fact, and it might come public later. But anyways, I know it's for a fact, and I'm going to share it with you, so stay tuned. So this season is 1 pintail, a drake or a hen, 1 pintail nationwide, okay? I wish they would take the hens off there. I think I know why they do that, because first off, they say it doesn't really matter. Secondly, I think for people that make mistakes and can't identify, can I really fully comprehend that? Not really, but I do. I'm going to be a realist. I hate when guys say stuff like, I don't know, anybody with half a brain can recognize a drake from a hen. It's like, I agree with that on some terms, but there is a lot of new hunters, okay? A lot of new hunters say this: I knew it was a duck, but I didn't know what kind, okay? So please, for those guys that act self-righteous and act like they never make mistakes, which I have been in those at times, and I've said things I probably shouldn't have said, and I got to put my foot in my mouth. Guys, we as veterans have to stop doing that. It's just not a good look, and it's pointless, because we got to go back and we got to remember where we started, okay? And I'm talking to myself. I'm not just telling you guys, okay? Because let me tell you this, early season, let's take this scenario. Let's go early season. Let's go very early season, okay? Very early season. Overcast day. You and I and those that have hunted for a lot of years can wait and can identify the drakes, okay? Have I made mistakes and shot at a hen pintail? Yes, very, 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 very few, but I have done it, okay? I'll be the first to raise my hand. I don't want to do that, personally. I never want to shoot a hen pintail. I will not do that to fill limit. I'm just telling you, that's my thoughts. If I'm at 6 birds and a hen pintail flies in, I'm not shooting it. Have I done it on accident? Misidentification? Yes. Okay. But early season, on an overcast day, even people that have hunted for a long time, if they're not patient enough, if they're not really trying to identify, I can see, because the drakes don't have long pins, that they could accidentally shoot a hen. It happens. Okay? Playing the devil's advocate here. Now, I wish they wouldn't put hens on there, but that's what it is, and those are parts of the reason, I believe, and their scientific studies. All right? Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this, though. So what I'm about to share with you is, a lot of you probably know or have heard rumors and hubbub and wonder if it's true. It's true. Next season, 2025-2026 season of next year, not this year, 25-26 season, will be 3 pintails. Boom. Now, some of you listening to this are probably stoked out of your mind. Some of you are probably against it. And I'm going to say that's for California, okay? I can't verify if that's everywhere. I thought it was. But I don't want to say, because this is a place that I try to give full information. If I don't know it fully, I'm going to tell you, okay? I'm going to admit to you, I should have brushed up on a few things. I thought I read that it is everywhere. But I'm just going to say California, because I know what California is, okay? So 25-26 season, 3 pintails. Some of you are going to have thoughts like I do, and I'm going to share that with you in a second on the 3 pintail limit. So there's a group, there's 3, to me there's kind of 3 groups, maybe more. I'm just, in my head, there's 3 groups. One group is stoked about it and think, man, I'm going to shoot 3 pintails every chance I get. One group is saying that's ridiculous. It doesn't need to be that many. And why are we doing this when the duck numbers, the pintail numbers were actually down last year? Okay. And I think I'm going to do a separate episode about that too, bird numbers. This is just straight up about the pintails and my thoughts about it, okay? Because this will probably take every bit of 20-25 minutes. It's going to be 2 drakes and a hen. You cannot shoot 3 drake pintails. You can shoot 2 drakes and a hen. Okay. That's going to be next year. Now, I'm going to share my thoughts on it and how I feel about it, and what this other group of people probably think the same way I do. And you guys can let me know in the comments of the YouTube channel. There's really nowhere to do it on the other platforms, just the audio only like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But please, I will ask you this. Please give a rating and review. I really want to jack those numbers up. I really want to get to the top of the charts. We got so high last year, and I want to get higher. I'm just always trying to do better, right? So please, if you guys on Spotify can give 5 stars, because you can't really write a review, but you can leave comments in Spotify now. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you can leave comments on Spotify now. So if you guys listen on Spotify, please do that. Get some feedback. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review it. If you listen on YouTube, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, but I'm going to share you mine right now, okay? And I think there's a group of people that think this way. Me personally, I am not going to say that I will never shoot 3 pintails. Well, actually, I am going to say I just thought of something now that I hadn't thought of before. I am going to say I'm not going to shoot 3 pintails. My plan is not to shoot 3 pintails. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I don't want to speak out of turn and then change my mind. But here's the deal. To shoot 3 pintails, I'd have to shoot a hen. And why I always try to play a devil's advocate, and I think that's why I kind of go around and around on this podcast and my thoughts, because I'm trying to cover every angle, and I don't want people to take my words and twist them, even though that they will do that anyways. But let's say if I accidentally shot a hen, I want to say that I would just shoot a drake if I had to or wanted to, and that would end. I wouldn't shoot 3 because I feel bad enough for shooting the hen. But I don't want to say never, because if I do that, I'm going to be crucified. But I mean, in my heart and in my mind right now, there's no reason for me to do that. shoot, let's just say if it was 3 drakes. I wish it was. And even then, I don't know if I would. Let me explain something to you. It's like, I don't know why pintails are such a majestic bird to me. They're their own beast, and I've hunted long enough where I had the 2 pintail limit. I've never seen it 3. And I was too young to be hunting during the point system. But I just feel like I would feel guilty for shooting 3 pintails. Like, I feel like it's too much. Like, why do we go from 1 for so long and then we go to 3? Like, I'm just expressing my thoughts. That's what I can do. This is my podcast. And I'm expressing my thoughts. I'm just like, is that necessary? Now, this is coming from a guy that thinks, I wish we'd put the mallard limit at 5. Like, okay, if you still want to keep the total bird 7, that's fine. I'd be willing to take a cut on that too. But I mean, we're always talking about the mallard numbers are down, which actually I believe they're up this year. But it's like, is it really going to kill us, guys, to shoot 5 instead of 7 mallards? I mean, we're always talking about mallard numbers, and usually they're in decline. So why not cut them down? If we love waterfowl so much and we want to see the sport continue on, we want to see the birds flourish, why not do it? They say, well, science says that that's not going to affect it. Okay. I guess, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking here, but fully, I say a lot, but there's some things I just don't say. But I feel like if I shot 3 bulls, I would just be like, what's the point of this? Like, in my mind, we've had this short so long. Maybe it's because we've had a 1 pintail and 2 pintail limit for so many years. It's like you feel like you're committing a crime. I don't know if that's what it is. It's ingrained in my head. But, you know, if I went to Mexico, would I shoot 10 pintails or 20 pintails because I can? I guess maybe I would. I don't know. But like here, it just feels weird. Will I shoot 2? Absolutely. I won't even have a second thought to shoot 2 bull sprig. But I'm not going to, I don't have no intention to shoot 3 because there's a hen involved. So I really, in a way, maybe I am trying to influence people. Like, think about that for a second. I don't know if you have thought of that. But if you're thought, yes, I can shoot 3. Do you really want 3 so bad that you're going to shoot a hen to do it? It's kind of like, you know? So something to think about. And some I kind of almost didn't think about for a second when I was thinking 3. I was just going to talk about the 3 pintail limit. But then I remembered, like, yeah, it's 2 drakes and a hen. So why do that? So now I'm going to fill you guys in on something I know. Maybe some of you probably already do know this, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. This 3 pintail limit is not going to just be next year. Yes, you heard it here. Maybe you heard it first here. It is going to be for the following year and the year after that. So it's going to be 3 straight years. We already know right now. I know right now that next year, the 25, 26, the 26, 27, and the 27, 28 is going to be 3 pintail limit. Boom. Yes, you're welcome. And think on that for a little bit. It's funny, when I found that out, I wasn't surprised at all, to be honest with you. But this model that they came up with of 0 to 3 is a 10-year model. So what I've heard is there's going to be, in this 10-year window, there's going to be 3 or 4 years of 3 bird. Then there's going to be a few, 2 or 3 of 2 bird. This is all for pintail, okay? And then there's going to be 1 or 2 or 3, do the math, on 1. And I mean, maybe, honestly, there could be a 0 pintail limit on one of those 10 years. Do I think it could happen? I do. What odds do I think? I mean, I would think maybe, like, this is just my speculation, maybe like 10 to 20% chance of that happening. because nothing would surprise me. Nothing surprises me anymore, honestly. So, let me read you. I don't want to do this in the same. I'm not going to do the bird number one in the same one, but we're sitting pretty good right now. We're getting close to the timeline. I said I was going to do this one. Just to throw this out there, the annual breeding waterfowl population survey estimates 33.99 million ducks, up 5%, from 2023. So that's good. It's good. Kirk McCullis put a post out, and I told him, I go, that's the best thing that's been said so far about this. People want to get on here, argue about it, and talk about it, and speculate and say that they're like it, they don't like it, whatever. It's just conversation. A lot of podcasts are talking about this right now. Kind of a day late and a dollar short with this. I wanted to get this out the day that this dropped, all this information, but life was in the way. But I'm about to wrap this up here. But this is from Delta Waterfowl. I'm not going to go over these bird numbers, but I am going to say, I'm going to read this. Right in the Delta Waterfowl and Ducks Unlimited, it says Pintail bag limit for 2025-2026 season will increase to 3 daily in all flyways. So there it is. I've been sitting there going back and forth in my head like, I did read that, right? But it is in all flyways next year. So in Bismarck, North Dakota, duck numbers are up and wetland habitat conditions have improved over important portions of the key prairie pothole regions. So yeah, now, that being said, since we're on the pintail subject, Northern Pintail this year was 1.98. Last year it was a 2.22, so they're actually down 11% from last year. And the percentage change from the long-term average is down 49%. So it's like, why did they do that? They crack me up. I know they have the reasons, and I got to get some guys on here from this. I'll just get some on from, I do have some Ducks Unlimited contacts too. I guess I could invite one of them on. But it's like, why did you guys do that? Like, I get the whole duck numbers is up 5%. All the other years when the pintail numbers were up, you didn't do it then, but then when it's down, you do it. It's like, and that is what confuses duck hunters. That's why they question these things. I'm not questioning them. I guess I am. I'm like saying, why are you doing that? But I'm not saying it in a way like, you're stupid. I'm not meaning it like that. I'm just saying, can you explain to me why? And I know they do. I know Ducks Unlimited has a video that they talked about this on, but anyways, it's just funny to me. It's funny how everything's everything's political, and everything's the government. It's like all those things are involved in this. So anyways, I'm not going to go none of these other ones. I just know we had a good year, right? Good water year. So Canada wasn't as good as we were, actually. They went down 19% from last year. Their breeding survey, their May pond count. So anyways, I was hoping there was one more little thing I wanted to read in here about the pintails. But I'm not seeing it. And let me say this. So what I was reading was the waterfowl breeding population habitat survey. They do talk about Canada a little bit in this email, and then they also go over the Eastern survey area. But I'm not going to cover that right now. So anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Share a little secret intel with you guys. Share with you about next year, my thoughts on it. What's your guys' thoughts? Please share it. I'm about to eat some Wingstop right now as we speak. Got a lot more podcasts coming out. Got Jimmy Muller podcast coming out. You guys are going to kill me. But Monday, on this day that this podcast is dropping, was actually going to be Jimmy Muller, but I switched it because I want to get this podcast out. So you have to wait till Thursday to hear the one with Jimmy Muller, and it's awesome, guys. We actually go over the misconceptions of still and a bunch of other stuff. So please tune in. If you're listening to this one, if you're new to the podcast, please check out all our podcasts. We've got a ton on here, all different types of things, different niches. But also I want to tell you, if ever you've listened to episodes and you're a waterfowler, please go back and find the beginning ones with Jimmy Muller. I'm going to help you out right now, and I'm going to tell you it's in the 2s because Rocky's barking. What do we got going on here? Uh-oh. Someone's getting in trouble. I'm running my house, live in the city here. Someone's getting chewed out. I had to stop and get yelled at. So let me get back to this. The first episode. Oh, there's more information I want to give you guys, but I can't do it on this one. There's just no way I want to dip into this one, but I got other big news I need to write down so I don't forget. I got to do an episode on that too. Some of you actually already messaged me on Instagram and were like, what? When I heard you talk about this, is this happening soon or what? So more cool news that I think you guys will like and be excited with me about coming up very, very soon. Let me find this episode. If you want to listen about, just have your mind blown, you need to listen to this, and I'm going to get to the exact episode right here. Episode number 271. So if you're new to the podcast, you never heard the Jimmy Mueller podcast with the Mueller chokes. We don't really talk about the chokes as much in the first couple episodes. We're talking about the misconceptions and just so many different things that were very eye-opening. That's episode 271. You can listen to it on the MVM Show, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, YouTube, any of those places. Go check that out. Episode 271 with him. And the next one coming up this Thursday, and actually a bunch more with him that I've recorded. So all that's coming up. Tons of stuff. Man, things are popping and rolling. Excited. Thank you guys for joining in. Share this podcast. Let people know. Hey, the MVM Show, where it's at. Bunch of real dudes with real reviews, real people, real thoughts, and real duck hunters. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys in the next one.